Have you guys ever had those friends that just are there when they need to be there and disappear when you become inconvenient for them? Stay tuned. Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Misha. This is Transparently Me, and today we are talking about superfluous friendships. Now, I do know that I normally talk about my weight loss journey on this channel. I also know that my previous video, which you can go watch up here, in my previous video, I did say that I was going to do my normal update, whatever, but I was kind of thinking about it, and I already, mostly gave up the goods. And I didn't really feel like it was necessary for me to go further into last week. Next week, I will resume my normal schedule of telling you guys how my week went. But this week, we're going to do something a little bit different. Because I believe I've said it before. I'm going to say it again. Part of, weight loss and trying to be healthier. Also, it's not just physical. It also includes your mental health. And one of the more important aspects of life and of mental health is friendships. Because human beings are a communal species. We like to be around other people, whether or not we actually enjoy being around other people. But we kind of need that contact. That human contact and whatnot. So it's really important to develop healthy friendships. Sometimes whenever, you're kind of either desperate to make friends or, certain circumstances happen, it can be difficult to determine whether or not that friendship at first is a healthy friendship. And I believe that, every friendship should have boundaries to it. But at the same time, it should just kind of flow. It shouldn't have any strict guidelines to it. There's not really any one friendship that's going to be identical with another friendship. And when I say superfluous friendships, I mean those friendships that on the surface, it seems like you guys are really good friends. And then once things start going downhill, or once you say something that offends them, they just drop you like a hat and you're no longer their friends. And those types of friendships, they do happen, and it can be painful to deal with, but you just gotta recognize them for what they are and move on. And cherish those friendships that are actually real and lasting, Remember, with friendships, it's not quantity, it's quality. So don't try to make friends with everybody left and right. Figure out what friendships are real and are maybe most likely going to last, and stick with those. And then maybe kind of all the other ones that don't really seem like they're going to last, kind of scoot them onto the back burner and see what happens. So anyways, I kind of wanted to give you guys a couple of examples of these friendships. And these are situations that really happened to me because I learned a lot over the years. I mean, I'm 29, obviously I have a little bit of life experience. I hope that I have at least a tiny bit of life experience. I'm learning every single day, but I feel like I'm starting to realize what friendships are and which ones are good and which ones are bad based on my past experiences. And that's why I want to share them to you, because these friendships affected me emotionally, they affected me physically, and that's kind of what this is about, right? We're trying to become healthier as human beings as a whole, mentally, physically, spiritually, and I feel like it's important to talk about stuff like this. So I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a couple of examples of superfluous friendships that I've had in the past. I don't know if you guys have noticed my nails. I did do them, but something happened with this nail. It kind of broke, like right there, over a week ago, so it was like way up here, and my smile line is all the way down here, and I wasn't about to. So I don't know if you guys want to see a video on how to fix your nail. I recommend checking out Simply Nailogical because her videos are funny and informative. But if you want to know how I did this, I can show you guys in a later video. Just leave a comment down below. I also do gaming videos, and I'm going to start doing art videos this week. And, you know, I've got a lot of things coming up. So definitely go ahead and smash that lovely subscribe button down below and ring that notification bell to stay up to date on all of my videos that I submit in the future. Moving on. So I was probably 23, 24 years old. I was living in Iowa. I had just recently gotten this new job, and when this happened, I had just recently gotten my own place. It was my first place. It was great. I loved it, but it was not in a good part of town. We'll cover that later. That's a whole other story. So one of the girls that was working in the same call center that I was working at, she was a floor walker, and her and I kind of started talking a little bit. And what initially started off as, you know, just kind of like a professional acquaintance, we started to realize that we had other things in common, and it kind of grew into a friendship. Now, really quickly before I continue, I just want to tell you guys, if at any point in time the other friend says something akin to, don't blow me off, or don't say this, because if you do, we can't be friends anymore, that should immediately tell you that that friendship is not a real friendship. That should immediately tell you that that friendship is circumstantial and convenient for them, and that later on in the future, it's going to be very inconvenient for you. A little bit of foreshadowing there. When I say that this friendship was not good for my health, I mean it was not good for my health. Like, I was very strict on my budget. I always tried to make sure that I had at least $50 to $100 left over after everything came out, just for emergency funding in case something went wrong. And this individual, who I shall not name, basically decided that every other weekend, on the weekends that we got paid, she wanted to take me out drinking. Now, a little bit of alcohol every now and then, I think it's perfectly okay to, you know, kind of let loose and you know, have a good time, so long as it's in a safe environment, or that, you know that you have somebody there that you trust that can make sure that you don't make a fool out of yourself. And, you know, that will be able to drive you and all of that. She was not that person. 99.9% of the times whenever we would go out drinking, she was also drinking heavily, and she was the driver, so she was drinking and driving, and not a good thing. But I was so fucked up that I didn't really think about it at the time, and now that I think about it, I know never to get in the car with an individual in this circumstance, because we had a couple of scary experiences. I was living in Davenport, Iowa at the time, and one of the bars that we went to was across the river in Illinois. The bridges in that area are very narrow, and when you're drunk and it's nighttime, it can be really difficult, and we almost drove off the bridge at one point in time. But I digress. So she was kind of poor for my health, because I was drinking every other weekend heavily, like over $100 worth of alcohol for myself only in one weekend. And it was just becoming a problem. Like, I could tell that I was starting to depend on it a little bit. The days that I didn't drink, the weekends that I didn't drink, I was a lot more agitated. I could tell that I was developing a problem. But I didn't really feel comfortable talking to her about it, because she had already put out this stipulation at the beginning of this friendship that I couldn't blow her off, because essentially, in quotation, she didn't actually say it, but it's what it felt like, I was lucky to be her friend, basically. Which is not a way to start off a friendship, by the way. I remember at one point in time, I was on the phone with the customer. They were being pretty difficult. The call was taking longer than normal, and she had come over to check on me, and so I put the customer on hold, and while she was checking on me, this nameless individual who claimed to be my friend, while she was checking on me, she started striking up a conversation that had nothing to do with the customer and was basically forcing me to keep this customer on hold for longer. Unappreciated. And I'm one of those people, I take my job very seriously. I really do. It may not seem like it sometimes, but I definitely take my job seriously. So I basically turned around to her and I said, hey, I really need you to back the fuck off because I'm on the phone with a customer and I need to get this call done. So if you don't mind giving me some space, I really need to, do my job because I'm getting paid to help this customer out and you're impeding me doing my job. I mean, come on, you're acting as my supervisor and you are impeding me from doing my job. That's not okay. I need you to back the fuck off. She went off. Like, at the time, she was my ride to and from work because we had the same schedule, we worked the same days. It just made sense for her to pick me up. I was on the way for her anyways, so she just picked me up, on the way into work, and she took me home. That evening, she basically wrote into me, and, she was trying to force an apology from me, and when I didn't apologize for what I had said, she basically was like, well, you can just find another ride into work. From now on, we're no longer friends. You can find somebody else to drink with. This was a really shitty way to end a friendship. You're a shitty friend, and basically like that. And I was just like, excuse me? Excuse me? I at that point in time, I was just like, you know what? I'm done. I'm done with you. Okay, you're obviously not rational. You're obviously don't understand what real friendship is if you're going to put stipulations like that on it, and you obviously don't understand how to have a friendship with somebody and be professional at work at the same time, and that's not the kind of life that I live right now. So we parted ways. It kind of sucked, but we parted ways. The second circumstance was a little bit more recent and a little bit harder for me to deal with because I really, we had been friends for a couple of years, and I really thought that at this point in time, our friendship was more important than this stupid bullshit that happened. And the reason why our friendship ended was because I started this job that I currently have. So me and this individual, again, I will not give out her name, we were working at another call center down here in Texas, and she had admitted that she was terrified of talking to me at first because apparently I have resting bitch face, and she was intimidated by me at first. But then she decided that, I seemed cool, so she wanted to talk to me, and so she finally did. This is another friendship that just kind of really quickly took a turn for the worst. After we became friends, we kind of became fast friends, and after we became friends, I started to realize very quickly that she was needy, and she wasn't needy as in she needed things. She was needy as in she needed somebody there and needed somebody to devote all of their time to her. And I'm not one of those people that will devote all of my time to somebody because I have a life to live and I need to be able to do my own thing. But you know what? I kind of dealt with it for a long time. I kind of, just handled it as calmly and collectively as I could. And it kind of helped, that I had just recently lost my job. So I needed to get out of the apartment. I needed to, be around people. But the sucky thing is that she didn't even talk to me after I lost my job for a month. Nobody at my job, except for one or two people, actually spoke to me after I lost my job, and these were people that I thought were my friends. They didn't talk to me to check in on me. They didn't check to see if I was okay, because the way that I lost my job, I will put up another video about this. It was really shitty, and I was kind of really not in a good emotional state. So you would think that people that considered you a friend would actually check in on you, but whatever. Just another long list. Anyways, so I started this job in November of 2017. She had just recently had a baby. And the thing is whenever you have a baby, your sleeping schedule and your awakeness schedule and when you can do things really kind of revolves around that child. I do not have a child. And I work a night job. So my schedule kind of revolves around me sleeping during the daytime and me being up all night. And she could not understand this. For the life of her, she could not understand this. Even though I tried to explain it to her, her child was sleeping at night, so she was sleeping at night. I was awake at night. The only times that she wanted to hang out was on the weekends. And the weekends at this point in time were the times that I needed to sleep the most because I was working 12 hours. I was literally getting home usually around 9 o'clock, immediately having to go to bed, wake up at like 5 o'clock, and get to work by 7. And so I needed as much sleep as I could. She wanted me to hang out on the weekends. And I was like, that's not going to happen. So on my birthday of this year, she actually posted up a message on one of my posts. And I was like, hey, I miss you, hopefully my schedule will change and then we can hang out. I do miss you. I do care, how are you doing? And she just basically went off and she was like, no, if you really cared, you would take the time to hang out with me and stuff like that. And I was just like, bitch, you have a child. I work at night. That is not conducive. You're going to have to work with me here. She immediately unfriended me from Facebook. She immediately blocked me and I was just like I thought that we were better friends than that. Come on now. Anyways, I'm sorry that I went on a rant, but basically my point is this. Friendships are important for mental and physical well-being. If you have a good friendship, it's going to be with somebody that understands you, understands your life, understands that, sometimes you just need a break, and is willing to compromise with you. If you have a good friendship, it's going to be with somebody that even if you don't see each other or hang out with each other all the time, you're still able to talk with them. You're still able to hang out with them. They can message you and be like, hey, can you hang out this weekend? And if you say no, they're okay with it. A good friendship is going to be with somebody that supports your life decisions and doesn't try to fuck you up anytime that they can get. Good friendships do not stem from constantly getting drunk. Some of them do, but most of them don't. They don't stem from, harmful situations or, stupid shit. Both of these friendships that I discussed here today, they wanted me to drop my life, my schedules, my plans for them. And they wanted me to cater to them so that they could get fulfillment out of it. But they didn't care whether or not it affected me. When I started to become inconvenient for them, they basically dropped me, and they basically considered me not good enough to be their friend, and the way that it ended was just explosive and not pretty. You're gonna go through life having friendships like this, and it really sucks. But those friendships that you do have that are quality friendships, those friendships that you have that are actually good, fulfilling friendships, they're going to be people that you don't see for years at a time, and then the next time you're able to talk to them, the next time you're able to see them, they still are just excited to communicate with you. I have one friend that I've known from high school. I haven't seen her in almost 10 years, and we talk on occasion, but we're still really close, and whenever we talk to each other, it's we picked up right where we left off, and that's a real quality friendship. That is a real quality friendship. Friends are for life. Friends will be there, and friends can be almost like family. But if they're just, to get fulfillment out of something because they're bored or something like that, that's not gonna be a friendship. If they move too fast, that's not going to be a friendship. A real friendship is going to be fulfilling for you, fulfilling for the other person. It's going to be enlightening for you both. It's going to be spiritually strong for you both. It's going to be physically strong for you both, because you're both going to push each other to be better, and it's going to better you as a person. You're going to better each other. You're going to learn off of each other. You're going to grow from each other, and you're going to support each other no matter what. That's what real friendships are. And these two friendships that I talked to are really just a drop in the bucket on superfluous friendships that I've had over the years. But they were the two that really stood out because they were the two that were like so obvious at first. But I was so desperate for, you know, that human companionship that I accepted it and I went along with it. I've had other friendships that were completely superfluous that I just kind of went like, no, we're done. And it ended it really quick. But these two lasted long enough that they actually put an emotional and physical toll on my body, and I can't do that anymore. I'm trying to better myself as an individual, and I feel like bettering yourself as an individual, both physically and mentally, requires you to look at these circumstances, recognize them for what they are, maybe talk about them, and then move on. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. So I'm sorry that this video kind of got really ranty and was all over the place like they usually are. But, you know, I kind of just felt like it was necessary to talk about this because it's an important aspect in everybody's life. So, yeah. If you like this video, go ahead and leave a thumbs up. Remember, they are important. If you want to see more videos like this in the future, go ahead and smash that lovely subscribe button down below and ring that notification bell to stay up to date on all of my videos. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, or suggestions about things that you think that I should do in the future, leave a comment down below. If you guys just want to say hello, links to all of my social media will be in the description box below. As always, I love all of you guys to death. Stay strange, love one another, and most importantly, love yourselves. You guys have a fantastic day. Bye! I saw the sign and it opened up my eyes, and I am happy I'm living without you. I left you, I saw the sign and it opened up my eyes. I saw the sign. I'm all alone, there's no one here beside me. My troubles have all gone, there's no one to deride me. But you gotta have friends. I am the Eggman, they are the Eggmen. I am the walrus, cuckoo, 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 cuckoo. Don't turn around, cause you're gonna see my heart breaking. Don't turn around, I don't want you seeing me cry. Just walk away, tear me apart that you're leaving. I'm letting you go, but I won't let you know. Do you and your friends ever have like secret codes or whatever? I'm not talking about inside jokes. I'm talking about like silly little things that you and your friends do that just kind of like reaffirms your friendship. So one of my roommates at Mooseheart, I will have a video about this later, but we were so close that we actually had our own little secret code thing, and I'll show you how it goes here. Just watch, okay? So it was, hi roomie, good girl, bad girl, sad girl. And I don't know what we did to come up with this. It was just awesome. Allie, if you watch this, I still remember that. We still do that. I know that we do because we'll message each other every so often and be like, hi roomie, good girl, bad girl, sad girl. And like, I don't understand where it came from. I don't even remember. I don't even remember where it came from, but it is like the highlight of my childhood. Friends are for life. I don't know what's happening right now. I'm going crazy. What is happening? What is happening? I need to go. Bye-bye.